Hello, my very dear Capricorns. The first thing that I tuned into as I was doing this reading for the week of July 28th, or whenever it resonates, was this feeling of you sitting in a window at the night, talking to the night sky, but you're whispering. It's like you're sitting there like this and you're whispering your hopes and your dreams into the sky, trusting or hoping on some level that somebody or something's going to hear you and is going to make things come true. And that is juxtaposed to this other part of you that I see during the daytime, which is kind of stoic, kind of not rigid, but almost practical to a point of feeling as though you've given up on magic, you've given up on love. You come across that way, but in your heart, Capricorn, there is this part of you that is still dreaming. And I feel as though for some of you, you have gone through times in your life, possibly in your early childhood or definitely in formative years, where your dreams were not fulfilled, where there was a sense of, well, why bother? It didn't work. Or that expectation that things were going to be difficult, things wouldn't work, things couldn't work. It's almost as though I could say you grew up in a family that maybe said, can't happen to people like us, or what are you daydreaming about? The only thing that's going to get you anywhere is hard work. And I feel as though it's almost as though there would have been a certain amount of shaming of you if you let, or fear that you would have been shamed if you had let this other part of you come out, this part that's so desiring of the softer side of life, the joyful side of life, something beyond the hard work and the planning and the strategizing. I feel as though for some of you, it was easier just to take on that neutral approach to life and just get on with things rather than really let yourself explore the power of those deeper emotions, the power, and maybe that's why you didn't, because they were so powerful, and maybe because you weren't shown the value of them or how to manage them. And so that kind of almost rigidity or super structured way of dealing with thoughts and emotions and possibilities became your coping mechanism. And that would make sense because that's a natural tendency anyway. Capricorn as an earth sign, there is that quality to like structure. There's that quality to be able to work hard and to work for the long game. It's very, very common in an earth sign. So you would lend yourself naturally to that, and especially if things didn't work out for you in the way that you would hoped, it would be very easy for you to fall back into that. But the ones I'm reading for here, what you need to know is keep whispering. And it doesn't have to be a loud whisper. The fact that you're letting up out of your heart, through your throat, and into the ethers means that the breath of your desire is being heard. What is desire? It is breath. It is you speaking to something bigger than you and beyond you, whether you know what it is or not. It's in that moment trusting that the universe, magic, mystic, has the ability to shift something for you. And you're not willing to proclaim it in a loud voice right now, but you're willing to acknowledge it to yourself, and that's the first step. Now, what you're being told here is, notice whenever you become embarrassed or ashamed of wanting something different and trusting that it can happen. Notice when that comes in. When that comes in, acknowledge it and say, okay, that was there for a reason, but now what would I like instead? How would I like to feel about this instead? Not just what would I like in my life, but how would I like to feel about the desires that I have instead? This is where you get to work with your mind, okay? Look at the shame and say, how would I like that to be? Well, I would like not to be ashamed of my desire for love. I'd like to feel courageous because of it. I'd like to feel proud of the fact that now I can say I would like this in my life. and that I can feel proud because I'm courageously allowing it to be a possibility without knowing I'll get it. So I'm proud that I'm feeling strong enough to apply this. This is really something that is so powerful in terms of how you can shift your life. It's how you shift your perspective on what your beliefs and your feelings already are. It's learning how your mind works. And there's something else. There is realizing the nature of love, which is present in you, which is the core essence of every cell that you have, divine love. That's the essence of life. And that, love is not something that is typically what you might see in a Capricorn, which is kind of not necessarily transactional in terms of I'll give you this and you give me that, but because there is that quality of success, production, creating of things, work ethic, money, being able to make money, the expression of love can sometimes seem a little bit aloof, and maybe not expressed in tender terms. So in this regard, what you're being asked to do is don't worry about how you say, how you show. Pay attention to how you feel. Love, in its purest form, is a state of being which can influence our behavior but does not rely on actions in order to be felt or to have a positive effect. Love does not demand reciprocity. Love radiates from us like light from a bonfire or dreams from a dreamer, rather than something we parcel out to some and not to others, or parcel out, period. Okay? So when you're in that window looking out at that night sky, let yourself feel that quality of love inside of you, because feel that love for what your dreams are. But feel that love, period, because that speaks to the universe. That wakes the magic up, Capricorn. And that's what starts allowing you to explore more in your heart about how you feel and how you would like to communicate. You can still maintain calm and balance and structure in your life, and also be playful and be sentimental and have that other layer of emotion be there with you, because you can contain it. Now, what you're being told here is, from a practical point of view, it's wonderful for you to be whispering this out. And maybe at some point you're going to sing it out. And maybe sometime it's not going to be in the dark of night when everyone's asleep. It's going to be from a rooftop. Maybe it's going to be in a painting. Maybe it's going to be in a poem you write. But what you're being told is, bring it into the earth plane. You're an earth sign. Bring it down to practical reality. What does that mean? That means be aware of your breath. Notice what you're feeling and name it. And then breathe. And as you breathe, notice how it changes. So this is being done as an exercise throughout the day on a regular basis, as much as you can. If nothing else, start the day with it and end the day with it. Take 3 full deep breaths and notice how the feelings and the emotions change, because this is how you start really opening your heart to get a sense of what it is you want and where you want to be. And it's keeping you grounded in an open kind of way. So you're not just tunnel visioned here. It's keeping your emotions alive throughout the day, which is what we want. You're also being asked to exercise your choice muscle, because again, earth signs can have a tendency to get comfortable with what is and just go along with habit. You're being asked now, this is part of also opening up your heart and opening up your dreams. Choose. Use your choice muscle. Start experimenting. When you have the option of saying this or that, don't defer and let other people decide, or don't just go with what you always do. Change it up a little bit. What would you like? What would you really like? I always use this example. Okay, so do I want Greek food or do I want Thai food? I think I want Greek food. I'm going to let myself get a feeling of that. I'm going to breathe. And as I breathe, I'm going to go, no, you know what? All of a sudden I'm feeling like I'd like Thai. Okay. You can do that around simple, simple things. Again, using your breath to open your feelings so that you can be aware of what you're choosing. And the more you can choose around the simple things, the more you open up to the idea of being able to choose bigger things because you're connecting with your feelings more, so you have more confidence in what it is you're creating. Capricorn, I think this is absolutely beautiful. And I want to bring you the very first card that came out, can't and won't. Can't is the language of a child. Won't is the language of an adult. You have the power to choose. And you're being told now you can move from neutrality into play. You can risk being silly. You can risk just having fun for the sake of having fun. It doesn't always have to be. We can think of it as not being productive, but it's very productive. On an energetic level, play is extremely productive because it opens you up to bigger dimensions, to more information in your heart, to an ease that calms your nervous system, so it opens you to your intuition as well. So I leave you with that, Capricorn. I think this is lovely, and I have just this most beautiful image of you still at the window, whispering your dreams and hopes. Take care. They are being heard. Take care.